All right, so this is the third freaking session of Worldwide Wrestling that I'm running for GauntletCon. I'm super excited. I've got my Ninjas versus Luchadors shirt on here. I'm all set. Early morning. This is super early. If you're watching this, it's probably much later than the time that we actually played this game, which is kind of crazy. So we're here, and we're setting up characters. We've got a couple of returning characters. We've got some new ones. We're kind of getting a little bit of the logistics of that set up, and we're going to be playing that out today. We're going to be doing character creation introductions, doing a quick heat map, which builds up the relationships between the wrestlers, and then I'm going to be booking the show, and then we're going to play out the events. This is probably going to end at about a quarter till the hour. So we're playing about 2 3/4 hours, because I do have a game after this, and I do want to get food before I go to that, or else I shall pass out when we go to play. So that's the general thing we're going to be doing today. This is part of the Gauntlet Con, which is part of the Gauntlet Hangouts. And this is also part of the Gauntlet League Wrestling, which is a long series of worldwide wrestling games that we've been doing here at the Gauntlet. This is part of this game, Worldwide Wrestling, written by Nathan Paoletta. So one of the things I do want to mention is that the Gauntlet uses some safety tools. That's particularly important when we're playing with people we don't know online. It's particularly important when we're working with wrestling, because wrestling is a sport or sports entertainment that has a long history of problematic stuff, of homophobia, racism, sexism, all of that stuff. We're playing a more enlightened version of that. But if we do hit material that you find problematic or objectionable, we're using the X card, and that means that you can do this to signal that we're hitting material you're not comfortable with, and we'll edit past it. I may stop off to ask about exactly what we're moving past. You can also send a note in chat if you want to do that. You can send that, and that's just a measure. Consider it for problematic stuff if we hit a topic that you're not comfortable with, or if we hit where the tone is maybe going off from what you're comfortable with. So we'll keep that in mind here as the safety tool. And in fact, Worldwide Wrestling has a stronger and longer discussion of that material. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have the wrestlers introduce themselves, just to describe and give us our 1-minute pitch of their character's concept. And then we're going to work through the heat questions, which are going to build the relationships between these wrestlers. And that's how that's going to work. Now, Matt, I mentioned this to Rich before we started on air. You've had with your character to do the same heat questions a bunch. There are additional heat questions on the tab with the roster summary at the bottom. So if you want to use any of those to replace that. All right, so Rich, for the third and final time this weekend, could you please give us the 1-minute pitch for your wrestler, the Analyst?
Andrew Thompson was a lowly cubicle worker in corporate America until one day he discovered the wonders of professional wrestling. He took it upon himself to be forward-thinking, to take a deep dive into that expertise. He's got scalable techniques that have made him one of the greatest wrestlers in all of Gauntlet League Wrestling. He wants to move the needle because his core competency is power, strength, and acumen at wrestling moves. He is the CEO of the LLC, currently hiring on Monster.com. Andrew the Analyst Thompson, based on what I'm seeing from this roster, is the greatest wrestler who actually wrestles in this entire roster. And I'm just throwing some shade.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you. Glad to hear from the Analyst again. Matt, could you please tell us about your wrestler, Sub Pig?
This is what happens when you break a man down to the point where he's not even a man anymore, where he's not even an animal. I used to dance and sing for your amusement, and you'd clap. But you went wild when I was getting killed. No more! No more. I'm not going to let anybody get hurt the way that I've been hurt in that ring. And if it means I have to hurt everybody in the ring to make that happen, well, that's what I'm going to do.
Thank you, Sub Pig. All right. This is one of those things where it's always very difficult to follow Sub Pig. But Jeremy, I'm going to put you on the spot to introduce your character, please.
Great. Well, I suppose the best way to follow that is to not be as in character. So Randy Pan is a satyr goat boy gimmick. He has come from the pastoral glades of Arcadia to bring love back to the modern world. He carries a pan flute and has furry goat leg looking legs as he comes to the ring, and he's there to bring joy back into the jaded wrestling audience. And now I'm going to cut that short.
And are you imagining that Randy is a good guy or a bad guy, a face or a heel?
I'm thinking more of a face.
Okay. Make a note of that. Andre, can you tell us about your character?
Okay, so he's called the Brazilian Beast, and he was found in the middle of the jungle in northern Brazil, deep in the Amazon jungle. And he's a towering, bulky, tanned aberration, a very disfigured face, and nobody knows exactly where he came from. He very slowly started learning the local language, in Brazil, Portuguese. So one day they thought he was causing too much trouble there, and thought about putting him in the wrestling in a wrestling championship, and he did so well, and the audience loved him. So now that's what he does. Not exactly. He doesn't stop to think what exactly is his purpose there, but he enjoys smacking people and doing his job and entertaining the audience. He's a little cruel, maybe, because he doesn't know exactly know how he's supposed to act in each situation.
So kind of a bad guy, kind of a heel?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. And then lastly, let's hear about the stick.
I was a simple working class man living in Detroit, trying to earn my living, have an honest life, just like any other man. Working in a factory, doing my work, but I got fed up with all the abuse and the bullshit of the powerful and the mighty, abusing of the poor people, on the weak people. So one day I took my boss and I piled drive into the floor. I quit my job. I decided that from now on I was going to fight and bring the pain to the powerful, and show them that the small people are also important. And no best place to do that. That's the wrestling ring. Stick it to the man, always.
Awesome. Excellent. So I love it. We're going to go through some of those heat questions. One of the things, of course, to keep in mind is that Worldwide Wrestling is an interesting game in that your characters are playing characters on stage. So we do some stuff on camera, and then we do some stuff off camera about who your characters, who the essentially the actors are that really play them. So there's sort of a couple of levels there. I do also want to say something. I usually say this during my prelim bit, but I forgot to. But I say this. So sometimes I talk way too fast, and also I have a really heavy Hoosier, Indiana accent. So if at any point you cannot understand what I have said, just say, "Lol, what the hell did you just say?" I will not take offense. So please feel free to do that at any point. Analyst, you've got some heat questions, and this is how this is going to work. Rich has a set of heat questions he's going to work with. He's going to ask them, and if you think it fits that your character would have that relationship with his character, you can say, "Oh, I think that's me." And then Rich will record that on his sheet. And we're going to do that for everybody. Everybody has 4 questions, the heat questions on their sheet. So Rich, could you start us off? I know we've got one established with Sub Pig. What is the relationship you have with Sub Pig?
With Sub Pig, we used to be tag team partners, right? Isn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to be tag team partners, and I decided to, move up the ladder, as it were, to someone who was insane and violent.
That was back when I had no self-respect. And I came to self-respect through the bottom.
Analyst, what is your second heat question?
Let's see. Oh, wow. One of these questions I can't because... sorry. I've used a lot of them, so I'm using some extra heat questions. Who thinks they deserve my spot?
Ooh. Does anyone here think that you deserve the analyst's spot? And if
my
not,
spot's pretty awesome, by the way. Just so
Yeah.
you know, it's a parking spot. It's got my name on it. You really want it.
Okay, I think Mike acted this.
Brazilian
Because-
Beast.
Yeah, he wants to show that. Well, I guess the analyst is too civilized a person, a character, and maybe he wants to show that someone that's seen as a savage can also take that spot.
nice.
Who refuses to work with me?
I think I definitely do.
All
I
right.
think you have too much a stick at your butt. I think you are too straight to working by the rules. I think you are just a slave of the system
Oh, it's funny because I make the rules. It's interesting.
for your own gain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how it works. It's nice that you're learning that, Stick. Okay, good. I'll go ahead and mark some heat there.
So do I have to mark something or
No, you'll
Okay.
mark it when we come to you. We'll have you do your questions.
All right, I'm gonna ask this last one, and I'm sure no one will want this. Who wishes that they were as cool as me? I know, right? 2 questions, both the same heat. Why do I keep going to the same kind of question? It's fine. I'll just move along.
Do you have an
Who wants to make me quit? Oh, just no animosity, no love, no animosity. Just neutral.
Should I
on
put
the
one of your former tag team partners?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. How about Dreamboat Alex? Who got
Oh, good.
humiliated?
We haven't had much time with Dreamboat Alex,
He's got his mullet.
and he is he's still
He's a heel now.
All right, so that's 2. Sweet.
All right, Matt.
Yes.
What is Subpix has a relationship with the analyst,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and I'm not sure which heat question that was, but
Okay.
we've got so much heat with each other.
Yeah,
That's
we need to
it.
finish that feud today.
Yeah, so I will ask, who refuses to work with me because I'm way, way too reckless and dangerous?
That seems like a good one for old Randy Pan, the clown.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think you went off script once and drew a little blood on me, and I was having none of it, and I left. So we're going to keep that going.
All right.
And
where's that? What tab was that? Oh, there we go. Roster summary. Who is trying to get management on my side?
ooh,
Maybe me, the Brazilian Beast. I think I like your style. And I like the way you take things and the way you do stuff. I don't know. Maybe I think we could benefit from each other.
that makes sense.
You're just pushing for animalistic maniacs to have top spots.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there any others? You got one
And
more.
the other question is, who do I think is a slave to management?
Maybe me as well. Is this a bad thing for us to have two?
That's even better.
Okay, so I guess you think I'm a little. I don't know if I can say what you think about me. Maybe. Okay, maybe you think I'm a little. I'm not too aware of how the management does the thing, and well, and I don't know. I'm not.
Perfect.
I don't know. Maybe I'm too innocent to get what they're doing to me.
Well, that works.
Oh yeah, very much. Sub Pig has that impression. Matt, thank you. Jeremy, let's look at your heat questions.
Great. First off, who's asking me for tips to add something fresh to their act?
Maybe me.
Sure.
Okay. Maybe the audience is getting a little tired of the whole jungle monster thing, and I'm starting to worry about that. So maybe some tips from you would be nice.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Perfect.
Then next up, who was my tag team partner before I found my true niche?
Ooh.
I think maybe it was me. I think
Nice.
we used to work together, but then I think, at least in my opinion, you were too free and making people laugh and not caring about the big issues, real issues. So you became too soft, for me at least.
Yeah, that's great. Because that's how I got over. And you're like, no, you got it. This is serious work here.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm going to go sell merch. Okay. Then I have who thinks my in-ring talent is being wasted in this role?
Sub Pig does. I'm going more backstage in this session than in character. And Sub Pig has found that when he switched off from a comedy gimmick, that's when his career took off, when he embraced that hardcore violence. And kind of as a reflection in real life of his character in the ring, he does kind of try to coach people in his misguided worldview. That, you know, you are wasting your time and effort by being entertaining, and you got to go out there and deliver just Japanese style, strong style matches.
Gotcha.
Excellent.
Cool. That's the last one too.
Yep.
Who thinks I'm a waste of a roster slot?
I think that you don't test well. We've checked all of the ratings, and your humor's a little dated. Back in the ancient Grecian time, maybe it might have been useful, but modern audience is not really into goat boys, except on American Horror Story. But that's not wrestling.
Cool. So I'm ripe for a heel turn.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Or perhaps I am. Although, yes, a scary pan would be awesome.
Just in time for Halloween. Let's hear the Brazilian Beasts heat questions.
Who thinks I am a little too cruel, maybe?
I think I can take that one too.
Okay.
I like these guys that they tap into their animal side, but I think they're going a little too animal. Got to have a little bit of, still got to have a little bit of love in the world, right?
That makes sense.
Should I make a note about this?
Yeah. So what you'll do is you'll write down Randy Pan in that list of wrestlers, and you'll put that you have one heat with them right now.
Oh, okay. And the other questions that I have already answered, do they change this as well?
Nope, it only changes for them. So they may have different heat with you than you have with them.
Okay. So, who has wrestled me before and took a beating? An unexpected beating, maybe.
I'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah, you beat the analyst senseless.
Nice. Thank you. Who thinks I would be better sent back to Brazil?
That would be the Impact character, Sub Pig. Because you're walking down my road, and it's a dark road. It's a painful road. You don't want to do it, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the truth one way or the other.
Should I make one more?
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. Who here has pretended to take a beating from me, just so I would look a little better for the audience?
I think I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you are a beast. You are free. You represent freedom and do what you want and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes it's good for the people to see that they can embrace that side of themselves. So I let you win one time secretly.
Oh, nice. I don't know that as well, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Awesome. All right. And lastly, the Stick. Let's hear your heat questions.
Sure. So who did I have to kick the shit out of to show how badass I am?
Well, if you want to show that you're badass, there's only one man here that can really take a shit kicking, and that's the Sub Pig.
Perfect. Is there any place in the character sheet in the Google Docs where I should be putting this?
Yeah, so
Or-
if you look to sort of the middle of the sheet, you see the names of the wrestlers, or the spaces to write that in. So, for example, here I'll do on the sheet, you write in, and then you'll change this heat
to 1.
to 1.
Perfect. Cool. So next one, with whom do I have a reluctant alliance?
Ooh.
I think that could be me. We have our we have to work together, even though you think my style is isn't your style. You're like, all right, I'll work with this guy.
Sure. At least you're not a slave to the man. So yeah, I'll deal with you.
Okay.
Great.
Awesome.
Who do I think is a slave to management?
I think me. You as well think that I don't see what management does to us, and I'm too innocent maybe to get that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's perfect. And who wishes they were as cool as me? Come on.
We can put in for that. We have I already have one non-player wrestler on the list that we have out there. So how about a guy named Dreamboat Alex?
Sure. Sure.
Is that all your questions, or do you have one more?
I think yeah, that's all.
Okay. All right. So let me talk briefly about how this game plays out, and just get a sense of that. So we're going to be going and playing out matches. I'll book the match and say who's in that. Usually you'll have a chance to talk to the camera and cut a promo before you go in. And when you're in the ring, you're describing what you're doing sequences. Someone is in control. We make moves based on your description of what that looks like. There are 3 factors in that. Obviously, you're using your stats, but momentum is a currency that you accumulate throughout the session. You can always spend momentum after a roll to get a +1 on the roll, and you can spend as much as you want. It's used to boost you up. It means, how well you're doing, how much energy. It's a hold that you get to accumulate. It'll go away at the end of the session, so you want to use it up, but it's an important currency that you're going to gain. And on your sheet, you can look and see where your starting audience is, and that shows how much momentum you begin the game with. The next thing is that heat that we just generated. Now, everybody should look at what their role is, heel or face, and raise the heat by 1 of everybody that's your opposite. So, for example, the stick is a face, so he would add 1 to Sub Pig, 1 to the Brazilian Beast, and 1 to Dreamboat Alex, because they're all heels. What you want to do is you want to get your heat to 4 with someone. If you can get your heat raised up during play to 4, when you wrestle them, your audience will go up. Since at the end of that match, it'll go up. And you want your audience to go up to 4 because that means you're on top of the show. Everybody loves you. It also means you get an advance. If your audience goes to 0 and it's 0 at the end of a show, you get fired. So those are sort of the consequences that can happen there. And we've had it happen once. I think Harbinger got fired after he beat too many people up in the ring. So those are sort of the important things to know. There are other moves that people can do. People can run in to interrupt a match. If you look on the basic moves tab, if you're a baby face, you'll have a move that you can do that you can spend momentum to do, spend 2 momentum to get an effect. If you're a heel, the same thing. So you're going to want to take a look at that. I will walk you through as we play. When you say what you're doing, I'll say, okay, it probably looks like we're doing this roll. So you don't have to go to the move. I'll help you with that, but just so you know your options. So I'm going to take 5 minutes here, and I'm going to book the show. When we come back, we'll start the program out. I'll see if there are any questions. We'll set the stage as to where we are actually holding the show and get that all set. So everybody take 5. All right. So we're going to get rolling here. This is Gauntlet League Roadshow, which means that Gauntlet League Wrestling is kind of on the road right now. Our sort of dictatorial general manager, Bleakwood, is sending these shows out in different venues, different places, trying to get new, cheap wrestlers on the card, trying out the new talent, trying out some angles, trying to build excitement there. So, Matt, what city are we in today?
If you're giving me the choice, we are in Camden, New Jersey.
Camden, New Jersey.
Kind of
and Rich,
right across the river from Philadelphia, so it's like that style type of fan, but a bigger dump than Philly, if you can imagine that.
Okay. And Rich, what kind of venue are we in? What kind of place is this match being held? Is it a stadium? Is it an arena? Is it a small place? Where are we at?
It's a dog track.
Okay, like a big indoor dog track.
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, they've got the bleachers there. There's a dog track running across it. This place has a big, high, domed ceiling. So they actually have room to bring the cage in that they probably made from dog cages. But they've got all of that, and they've got the ring set up. It has that smell of a dog track, so it smells like wet dog in here probably. It's a striking place. Maybe not the best venue, but they are setting it up as best they can. Jeremy, what's one problem with this facility? What's one problem with this venue?
I think the seats that they put up for the audience are stiff and uncomfortable. So we'll have to work a little bit harder to keep them entertained.
Yeah, because they want people closer. They've moved these high school style bleachers up and rolled them and put lots of folding chairs and things. So it's really uncomfortable there. So not great. Let me ask Stick, what are the locker rooms like here? What where you guys have to change and stuff? What is that like?
Well, it doesn't smell great, but that's nothing new. It's usually where they keep the dogs.
Okay.
They have repurposed it.
So actually back in the kennels, they've got little standing closets set up for you, and there's lots of dog cages and things. It is kind of a mess back there. They're trying to get the cameras set up. Brazilian Beast,
Yeah.
What's one thing that you like about this place?
I think it smells like home.
So whereas everyone else is put off by the smell of the dogs, this has that kind of wild scent that you appreciate.
Yeah.
Okay. So we come in on the show today, and they've got the Gauntletron, the big video screen is set up. They've got everything. They've got the things to lower the cage when they do the big cage match. They've got all of that set up. They're working on that. And the audience has come in. Not a bad draw tonight. Wrestling fans coming in from across New Jersey. A lot of them are drunk already because it's Jersey. And you will get set up. They're going to show video packages, some video to highlight either from a previous wrestling match or just to show who you are. So, Analyst, after the last few events on the road, what does your video package look like now? What does the audience see first?
It's tough. I think what you see is that there are a number of billboards that look like they're somewhere near New Jersey, hiring for the LLC with the emblazoned logo of Gauntlet League Wrestling. And we have an interview, like a cattle call interview process with the analysts conducting interviews of various wrestlers. It's kind of inspired by the interview process in the movie The Mystery Men. We have people in various costumes that come up and talk about their wrestling skills, and the analyst is building spreadsheets and pie charts talking about the different power sets of the wrestlers. That's the package that we have bringing into this particular.
Nice pushing forward that LLC concept. The management is digging that. Randy Pan, what's the video package we see for you? What does the audience get?
So what they see is actually a camera panned down the street on Haddon Street in Camden, and we pull up on a local eatery, Donkey's Place, and you go in and you see people enjoying their Philly steak on the Kaiser rolls, and then a live goat kind of runs past the camera, and then I'm sitting in their back playing my pan flute, and go, "Oh, hi Camden," and I set down my pan flute and take a bite of the Philly cheesesteak. I go, "Just getting a bite of the best food here in Camden, New Jersey before I come show you what I'm worth. I'll see you soon, Camden."
And that is calling out the local, you're putting the name of the local place in, so you get cheap heat. You can do that once per session, so you can give yourself one momentum for making that call. Beast, what is the video package for you? What do we see to get everyone excited about you?
We see the Beast in some places you wouldn't think he would be, like taking the subway or something like that. And people all around are scared, and nobody wants to get near him. We see him walking down the street, and people just cross the street, not to be too near him. And all in between those shots, we see many shots of him fighting and doing some stuff that don't look like they were scripted at all.
Okay.
Maybe a little too much blood here or there.
And I picture that the people we see moving across the street, they aren't actors. They're people who actually saw you in costume moving across the street, and they just got away.
Yes.
Awesome. Stick, what is the video package we see for you?
So we see a road stretching into the distance below a blue sky, and then Born to Be Wild starts to sound in the background, mixed with the sound of an American-made motorcycle, and then I appear in the front riding my Harley with my sunglasses, with a can of beer in my hand, drinking it just in front of the camera. I look at it and I say, "It tastes like freedom." I throw the can of beer and I ride into the distance.
Perfect. Of course, the beer carefully turned so no one can actually see the label. Perfect. And finally, Sub Pig. What is now? Keeping in mind that last week on the last show, you won a stake in the company.
Yes, I did. So this is probably the most elaborate Sub Pig video package that we've seen yet, where it starts with his music. We've never heard his music, I don't think, because he's never actually done a proper entrance. But it's a mashup of the Zuckerman's famous pig song from Charlotte's Web and I Like to Hurt People from the movie of the same name. And so that starts playing, and it's just like highlights of the two matches he had the previous week, where his teeth are getting knocked out, and he's made that his new T-shirt. Him mugging for the camera with the knocked out teeth, and it's on the sheet now if people want to take a look. And so they're trying to push this hard, right? So lots of this flashing back to that shot of that toothless, bloody face in the camera. Lots of the high spots from the ladder match. You know, showing him ultimately winning the ladder match. And then there's a shot of a dumpster kind of behind the dog track. And it flies open. And there is Sub Pig wearing like a Burger King crown, stomping around in the dumpster. I'm your king! I'm your king now!
And they'll cut away quickly from that, and they're getting things set up. So the booking, there's some minor low card matches that are probably going to hit. Looks like Capitan X didn't do well last week, so he's kind of been demoted down. So we see him against Gargoyle Lord, and we see a couple of other mid-card matches, but they're actually going to start with kind of a revenge match today, as they're going to be putting the Analyst in the ring against the Brazilian Beast. Of course, everybody knows the Brazilian Beast actually delivered a beatdown to the Analyst the last time they met in the ring. So this is going to be kind of an interesting matchup here, whether or not the Analyst can actually get his figures in order. So that's the matchup. Matt, do you mind doing commentary on this first one?
No problem.
Okay. So Analyst, the way we typically start with a match is we go to one of the people backstage to either have them cut a promo straight to the camera, or talk to an interviewer, or do a setup to the match. You're facing the Brazilian Beast, so when the camera comes backstage to you, Analyst, what do we see?
We see the prototypical laptop with a post-it note over the Apple logo, and he's got an iPad set up on a little thing. He's looking at a bunch of pictures of previous matches, some video footage of the Beast, and then on the iPad there is a diagram of the human body, and a little video package goes in and it localizes in on the right knee. And of course, he doesn't have any members of the LLC to confer with, so he's just talking out loud to the camera. Right knee, weak point. I failed to capitalize on that particular weakness last time. Really need to, at the end of the day, need to get some value add into my techniques. Try to dive deeper into how I can weaken this unnatural thing and take him out of wrestling. So I'm doing this for you, New Jersey, because you need a clean dog track, and the Beast just should not be here to foul your air, New Jerseyites.
So rather than cut a promo, you're going for that cheap heat?
Yes, sir. I am going for cheap heat. I always go for cheap heat.
Okay, New Jerseyans, whoa, they hear the audience go when they hear you call out for New Jersey, so you get that momentum as you go to head out. Brazilian Beast, where do we see you? Are you being interviewed, or is the camera just on you in the locker room? Are you just talking to someone? What do we see here for your backstage?
I think the camera goes to the locker room, and I'm there petting my giant snake. I'm petting it and feeding it a giant rat. And I look at the camera and I say, how many times do I have to beat him down until he knows best and doesn't try to take on me? I don't know.
All right. So it sounds like you are directly addressing the Analyst, which means that the move that you're doing is called cut a promo. So you're going to roll 2d6 and add your character's look to that.
Okay.
And if anyone, I put the roller, the Roll for Your Party in the
okay.
chat, link to that if you want to use that. To use it, you just select 2 dice.
Okay.
And then
Let's
click
take,
the green button.
I'm gonna take the 2 first ones. I got an 8.
An 8. Okay.
Yes.
So here's what you can do. Probably the most important things is you could get another momentum. You can increase your heat with the analyst by 1. Or if you want to have a stipulation, like a new thing happen in the match, like you want it to be a cage match, or you want it to be no disqualification, or a weapons match. That's a possibility.
I think I'll add 1 hit.
Okay,
Heat.
it's a good call. It's a good call. Good, solid call. Heat and momentum are always good choices there. All right, let's come back. Analyst, what's your entrance?
DJ Tiesto music plays over the sound of baying hounds, and the analyst walks across the dirt track that covers the area where dogs come to play and chase after a fake rabbit. He hops over the rail and marches past all of the crowd, shaking hands, glad-handing, very excited to be here. He's in his business suit, you know, he's kissing babies and shaking women and all the good stuff. And then he heads up and takes off his glasses, puts them in a little glasses case, hands that off to Billy Fashions, and then disrobes and gets into his mat.
Perfect, perfect. Brazilian Beast, what does your entrance look like? What's the music we hear?
We hear some drums, a very stereotypical thing, you know, and my agent, instead of me coming from the alley, I guess I don't know the name of the venue.
Okay.
We see my agent there, looking like. Kind of looking like he's looking for me. He cannot find me, and suddenly I drop in the middle of the audience, and they start screaming and run from me, and I'm like screaming and acting like a real monster, a real beast, and I'm trying to grab them, and I go and I'm going after them, and then when I reach an actor down in the closest chairs, I grab him, and he just pretends to pass out, and I leave him be, and I go to the, is it called the ring?
Yep.
I don't know how.
Yep, the ring. Perfect. So it actually sounds pretty elaborate. So this is a move called Work the Audience. So okay. What is your current audience?
My current audience is 1, I think.
Okay.
Yes.
So 1. You're going to roll with a +1. And let's see what happens.
All right. So that's a 5.
So it doesn't go well for you. When they go to lower you down, they do it too fast. And you kind of land and splash among people, and they didn't quite put you exactly where they were supposed to. So some of these people aren't plants, and they're kind of freaking out. And there's lots of beer spilt. And the guy who's supposed to faint is like a couple of sections over, and so he's trying to get over to you, and it's a mess. I mean, you're still scary, but the audience isn't buying it. Unfortunately, that means that you can't work the audience again this episode, because the audience is like, oh, what's up with him? But they do get up into the ring. Beast, how tall are you?
I'm very, very tall. I don't know how in feet. I don't know. Maybe
like more than a couple meters, right?
What?
You're like more than 2 meters tall.
Yeah, a little over 2 meters. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So you kind of do that and get up into the ring, and you've kind of lost your edge. So you get up into the ring, and we're going to start with the analyst. The analyst is going to be in control of the match. He's going to start and describe what goes on until we get to a point where he makes a wrestling roll. And at that point, then he'll roll. We'll see what happens. And control may then pass to you. If you ever want to take control in a match, you can always spend a momentum to interrupt. And then you go, oh, no, I want to interrupt, and I want to get in here and do my thing. But usually control will pass back and forth. We'll do that until at some point I'll say, here is who is booked to win. And at that point, we'll probably go to finishing moves. Other things can happen, but we'll go through that. Okay. So analyst, the Beast has come into the ring. Billy Fashions is at the announcing desk. It was kind of a mess, kind of a botch there at the start. But you can hopefully get people excited again after that. So what happens, analyst?
Greetings from, well, I can't call it lovely, Camden, New Jersey, the New Jersey of New Jersey. And we're coming at you live from the dog track named after hometown hero Michael Vick. This is the place for people that thought Paul's Bingo Hall was a little bit too classy. And the analyst has just handed me his glasses, and I don't blame him. I would not want to see the mutants surrounding ringside either. And, oh, speaking of those mutants, a clumsy entrance by the big man, a lot of beer spilled. Not going to earn him any friends among this crowd.
Analyst.
Oh, Billy Fashions, how we love you. When the Beast comes in and kind of the promo drops out not very well, the entrance isn't good. The analyst tries to sell it, looking shocked and horrified. Once the Beast finally makes his way to the ring, he comes out and will. This is great because this is a move I bought like 4 game sessions ago and have never remembered to do, but I remember this time. I'm going to shake hands with the other wrestler because I have sportsmanship as a move. I'm going to fail this so hard.
Okay. So
yeah, I offer
up and put your hand out.
A roll plus reel when I do that.
Okay. Now remember, don't roll dice with pips.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to roll plus reel with not pips. Here we go. Oh, wow. I failed. Exactly. I rolled a 7, but one of those was a 4. So,
okay.
But with a -1 for reel, that is a 6. On a botch, they attack you before your hands touch, and they gain 2 momentum.
Awesome. So are you going to spend momentum to push that up, or are you going to take that result to start?
Spend the momentum to push it up.
Okay. So what is the 7 to 9 result then?
Okay, good question. 7 to 9. We both gain 1 momentum, and we gain 1 heat with each other.
Okay, that's great. So Beast, you get to add another heat with the analyst, and you get another momentum as he comes out to shake your hands and kind of sets the tone for the match.
All right.
Okay.
Now my heat is with him is 4. I think there was something that would happen there.
That means at the end of the match, if your heat is still 4 at the end, you're going to get to raise your audience by 1.
Oh, okay, great.
Oh, wait, I could only pick one of those, so I'll pick the heat. Sorry, we don't get momentum, so sorry about that. I only get to pick one because it's 7 and 9. I misread the move.
It's okay.
Oh, I have to choose between the two?
No, I choose. You get 1 heat with my character. You get 1 heat with the analyst.
So you shake the hands. The audience is still, getting settled in there. Then
and this audience is not a big fan of mutual respect.
Analyst, where do you go?
I think what I do is the Beast is huge, right? But I'm still going to try to pull off wrestling moves. So I'm going to a couple chops across the chest, and then move him back towards the ropes, grab his arm, send him running across the ring, and then I'm running after him. And as soon as he hits the ropes, I've timed it to where I'm in the middle. I slide down and take out his knees. And so I'm going to begin my work on his knees. That's the plan here.
Okay.
Try to pull off some wrestling.
All right, let's have you. Go hits against that. You're doing work, so go ahead and roll with work.
Oh, we'll do that. I've got a +2 on work. That's all I'm good for, people. That is an 11.
So you hit it great. You get to keep control of the match, and you can either have 2 momentum, or you can raise your heat with the beast by 1.
Ooh, if I raise my heat with the beast by 1, I get 4, which causes my audience to go up. By the way, do I reset my audience for this session?
No, no.
Hooray!
That's how this system works.
Oh, but I can't go over though, right? Because that would be the next session when I go over. I'm going to take the momentum. I feel a fail coming on. So
okay, fair enough.
Oh, the Mo. Yeah. So he takes out the beast's knee. How is it that the beast reacts to that? I'm kind of curious. Is he trying to sell it, or is he?
Does he play it up? Describe the beast's reaction when he throws you into the ropes and starts working on your knee.
Okay, I think he kind of clumsily tries to act like he was supposed to do. But yeah.
He's not the greatest actor, so he's maybe not selling the hit on the knee as well as he could. Okay.
Yes.
Analyst, what's the next part of this sequence here?
Next part of the sequence, once he hits the ground, is that I'm going for it. I'm going for a figure 4 leg lock. I'm just going to try to put the hurt on him. So the figure 4 leg lock, if you have the basic play aids, I think the figure 4, there's a picture of it. Yep, it's on page 4. So it's a twist up, and he's trying to focus on that right knee. Thank you. There you go. It's even better. Look at that high tech.
High tech, not. All right. So that sounds like you're taking him down the ground, trying to do the leg lock. That sounds like. Does that sound like you're trying to use your power to submit, or is this pure technique?
Let's go for power. I'm not afraid of it. I've got 2 momentum to blow when I mess up this roll. So here we go. Going. Okay. All right. Yeah. If you put your opponent yourself at legit risk, no, I'm not actually doing that. But yeah, we'll use power. Here we go. Here comes the roll. An 11 -1 for my power. Oh no, I actually have a 1 power. That's right. I took an advance. So that's a 12.
Heat or momentum?
Ooh, I'm going heat now. I'm going heat because I don't have to spend any. I'm crazy for it. Awesome. Okay. So. Yeah, send him into the figure 4. The guy's legs just dwarf mine, but I'm twisting on that knee.
How do you break out of that figure 4 leg lock? How do you break out of that leg lock, Beast?
I think by not so with raw strength. I mean, people don't see him doing something too technical. He's not too much into that, but by raw strength, he breaks out of that.
It kind of pushes you off, gets free, but Analyst, you still have control of the match.
And over the last couple of weeks, the Analyst has become a master at leveraging his scientific style into facing giants. And once again, he returns to those legs because even the tallest man is a midget when he's lying on his back.
Right.
Billy Fashions. Oh, it's like there's a moment where the Analyst just I bow to Billy Fashion's acumen. I think Billy Fashions has inspired the Analyst. He's going to break out a little bit and try to get a little high flying. So he's going to, as the beast is struggling to his feet. Normally, a technician doesn't do a whole lot of high-flying stuff, but the Analyst climbs up onto the first, the second, the third turnbuckle, stands on the ropes, and then comes with a missile drop kick, trying to take down the Brazilian beast. It's almost like one of those little planes in King Kong kind of thing, a little bit like that.
So do you think that's heat or look?
I'd like to use heat. Hopefully he'll sell this, because if I can use the heat, I've been building it up for a reason. Thank you.
Okay.
Awesome. So I get to roll with my heat with him.
Yes.
And I rolled a 5, but I have a 4 heat with him, so that's a 9. I will spend 1 momentum to make that a 10.
Okay. So a good hit. The beast is still knocked back there. It does look like kind of a one-sided match that the analyst is
schooling him. I'm going to hand control to the Brazilian beast at this point after I've knocked him to the ground. I'm doing a little like playing to the audience. I'm going to work the audience right before I hand off the.
Okay. Roll your audience.
Yes, all the things. So many dice. By the way, I just got a note from the developer for Roll for Your Party, and the D6 pips are supposedly fixed. I did a test on a different room, and I rolled 6s. So if you guys want to use the pips on the die roller, you're welcome. I just rolled a 6. My audience is a 3, so that is a 9. What is the
Gain momentum, which is the appropriate one since you're handing control over.
Yeah, I'll gain +1 momentum.
Okay. So Beast, you're lying on the ground, and the analyst kind of starts walking around the ring, kind of ignoring you, and getting the crowd excited. Now you have control of the match. What do you want to do?
Okay, I think I can reach him and kick him. Do I have to choose one of those moves in the the basic aids?
So what you'll do is you'll describe to me what you're doing. What the kind of the sequence of moves is, and then we'll figure out what it is. So describe to me what's happening. Fiction first.
Okay, so I want to kick him in the head.
Okay.
So
super kick, hit him in the head, and then?
Yes, so he's on the ground and kind of confused. And then I'm going to do some high flying stuff too. I think I will try to elbow drop him. Maybe I would jump on the. I don't know what's the name of the stuff in those things in the corners.
That's called the turnbuckle.
Turnbuckle. Okay, so I'm going to climb the turnbuckle, and then I'm going to drop heavily over him, trying to use all my weight on him.
All right. Let's have you roll.
I'm doing this in a little dirty way, so I kind of hit him harder than I would be supposed to.
Okay. Let's have you roll power. You think you're kind of putting him at risk here.
All right. So, I got a 10.
Excellent. So you have 2 choices. You keep control of the match, but you get a choice. Do you want 2 momentum, or do you want to increase your heat with the analyst?
I think the maximum hit is 4, right?
That is correct.
So I'm going to increase my momentum. Now it's 3.
Okay. So you come down. There's that crack as you land. There's oof from the analyst. Probably a look of panic on the analyst's face, maybe.
A little worry. This is a giant man who is now trying to hurt me instead of doing this thing we do. So yes, little worry.
What's the next thing, Beast? Now that you kind of got him down and you've done that hit, what's the next maneuver, next set of things?
I think I'm gonna grab him with one hand. I'm standing up in front of him. I'm going to grab his leg with one hand, and I'm going to put him. I'm going to grab him and lift him up, and put him on my back and try to kind of pretend to break his spine.
Ooh, okay. So is this more about doing the wrestling move, or you're just trying to show off your enormous strength?
I'm showing off my enormous strength.
Okay, so we're going to roll feat of strength, which is also rolled with power. It's on the basic moves. So go ahead and roll that for me.
Okay. And I got an 8.
An 8. Okay. So if you look on the basic moves tab, It's in the second column in the middle. You do it with obvious effort. You're going to get a momentum.
Okay.
And Rich, you get to pick one of those results.
I did not put myself at the risk of injury here. Screw it. Yeah, you put yourself at risk of injury. I wiggle a little bit. It throws off your balance because I'm starting to get a wee bit worried. I would normally play along, but yeah, you hurt me before, so screw you. I'm trying to get away.
Beast, when you go to do that, what pops? What hurts on you?
What hurts on me?
Yeah.
Does it have to be something physical?
Yeah. What do you strength? Do you stretch your arms too much? Do you stretch? Pull a hamstring in your leg?
Maybe I don't put him in the right spot in my back, so he's a little bit over my head and my neck really hurts. It gets stretched.
Yeah, there is that sound when you come down. It kind of does that pull, and you can feel it. Oh, you're going to want to put some ice on that when you get back.
Yeah, I guess that's what will happen when you have a lot of force, a lot of strength, but no technique.
Yeah. And Analyst, that gives you control of the match.
And the Analyst makes an uncharacteristic miscue when he turns to align with his stakeholders after a near perfect missile drop kick. And oh my God, Mafia kick to the face. He's laid out. And the big man ascends to the ropes. And oh my God, men that size are not supposed to fly like that. And what is he doing now? I don't have a name for that because I don't think it's a professional wrestling move. He's manhandling him caveman style. And it looks more like a car crash than a wrestling maneuver.
So, Analyst, it's kind of been some botches there. And here's the thing. As you kind of roll out of that, the Beast kind of showed his strength. He's still kind of over you. But Beast, I need to tell you that the Analyst is booked to win.
Okay.
So now at this point, he can go for his finisher. Unless you have anything, I don't know if you have any moves that can interrupt that, or can always do your heel move if you want to spend that, or if you want to save it for later.
My what move?
So on the basic moves, you're a heel. So there is a move in that third column called the heel move.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think I'm trying to win this match. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do that's underhanded and shady and not cool to win this?
Well, I think how was he supposed to finish me?
Yeah, so tell me, describe me the finisher that you would use, Analyst.
Finishing move, I'm going for the figure 4 again, dragging him to the middle of the mat and trying to force him into submission. That would be what I'm doing.
And so how does the Beast kind of cheat to get that win?
Well, I guess we were supposed to have some workup for this. Like we are struggling, and I was supposed to put all my strength to show them the audience that he's overcoming my strength. And instead, I'm kind of just acting like I was weaker. So he drops me kind of too easily, but then suddenly I grab him and I do the 4-figure thing on him.
Does that switch over? The audience is like, what happened? The ref is doing that a quick count. You spend 2 momentum to do that, Beast. The ref looks at you, Analyst, and does the 1, 2, 3, and
I'm out. Oh man.
And you kind of break, and the referee will raise the Brazilian Beast's hand in the ring,
and the Beast shows the analyst that he's not in Charlotte anymore. The old pinned when he put his back down in the figure four, you don't see someone lose to that spot very often. Always the unexpected here in GLW.
Awesome, and they will go and clear the ring there. When you get backstage, Beast, as you kind of get back there, the manager, Wolf Backhouse, comes up and to see you, and he's like, "What was that?"
Oh, I don't know. I thought I was supposed to win, right?
No, you were not supposed to win. That was the analyst's move to finish that off.
Oh, I thought that was my move to finish him off.
Look,
I suppose I kind of misread the script.
well, you better get on script later. You understand me?
Okay.
If you want a job, you get on script. Don't be a sub pig. Just stay on script, okay?
Okay.
And he'll walk away from you. And they'll clear the ring. There's probably another match. They have Stan, the Percolator Steiger, former champion. He's gone down card. They have him fighting the Wallaby. And essentially in a kind of a comedy match. He doesn't like it, but he still wants to get paid. So he does that. Then they will announce the tag team match that is coming up. Looks like it's going to be the newcomers, relative newcomers, Randy Pan, who has been on a tag team with the Stick before. It's going to be those two against Sub Pig and Dreamboat Alex. And we'll talk about the mechanisms for tag teams here in a second. Probably the first thing we'll see is Dreamboat Alex he's got his mullet on, and usually he's a clean-cut guy. You can see he's put on like slightly dirtier clothes, like he's trying to get like a more grim, rough edge to him. But it doesn't quite work. But he's got like a Sub Pig shirt on, like he's pretending to be a fan. And he will talk to the camera, clearly not enjoying this angle here. So when we cut backstage to Stick, is it an interview? Is it just the camera on you? How do you get set up for this match?
So the match is against the Beast, the Sub Pig and the Rainbow, the Dreambox Alex, right?
Yes. Yep.
Could you tell me a little bit about Dreambox Alex? I wasn't here.
So he's got kind of that surfer guy, got the long hair in the back, wears the sunglasses, kind of fit. He's kind of a tool of the corporate overlords.
Oh yes. So I think when they cut down to me, at first they only hear like the sound of something like hitting against something else, and then I appear with a big actual stick on my hands, like hitting against a cardboard screw out of this Dreamboat Alex, just hitting it once and another. And then I look at the camera and I say, this thing is fake as the real one. And this night, I'm going to prove it.
Nice. Nice. So you're cutting a promo. So you're going to roll with your look.
Which is two, I think. Look, one. Look, one.
One.
Okay. Submit. That's a 9 with 10.
Okay. A 10. So you get a momentum. You can add another momentum.
Nice.
And then if you look under basic moves, under the cut a promo, you get a choice. You can add a new stipulation to the match. You can get another momentum, which is good. Or you can increase your heat with Dreamboat Alex by 1.
I'm going to increase my hit with Dreamboat Alex.
Yeah. Awesome. Which does remind me, Beast, Analyst, if either of you were at heat 4 with one another, you get to add 1 to your audience. So we'll cut from that shot of the stick. We'll cut over to Sub Pig. Sub Pig, where do we see you?
All right, so Sub Pig is probably still doing like a live remote, and he's out just like in the alley of the dog track where it's like dumpsters and trash cans. And
The crew that's smoking quickly run to get out of shot.
And you start again, there's like a close, tight shot of his face. And he has clearly not seen a dentist since last week. His mouth is still like a mess. It's not even just he's missing teeth. They're like fragmented, broken teeth.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Lowell, I forgot.
The next card, man.
But he's making that grin into the camera. Last week, things really changed for me, huh? You were all chanting my name. I heard it. You were all pulling for me to be the king of the hill and win partial ownership of this company. You were all behind me. And I hate every one of you for it. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this because of you. You're the real problem. Wolf Backhouse is just a symptom. You're the disease. All of you. And I'm going to take my ownership in this company and use it to drive it into the ground and destroy it. No more GLW for you. No more.
Sounds to me like you are working the audience.
I am.
Go ahead and roll your audience.
Dice roller. All right. So I had the purple dice.
Yep.
That's an 11.
Wow. So you get 2 momentum.
Yes.
Crowd is loving it. Burn it to the ground. Burn it to the ground.
No, you're not supposed to agree with me.
And they will cut from that sort of, grim promo, and we're going to cut to Randy Pan. Randy Pan, when we get to you, what do we see?
So it's actually not like a hard cut away from that. It's a slow pan as his music fades out. And Randy Pan is leaning against the wall, standing next to a local newscaster, Michelle Dawn Mooney. And he's eating a sandwich. And we just are both looking. And I got my arm around her, and she's got her arm around me, like we're clearly hitting it off. And Randy Pan looks over after Sub Pig and looks at Michelle's like, I have to fight that guy next.
Oh, wow. He looks kind of crazy.
There's no kind of about it. That man is a maniac. I think maybe the only thing that can get me through this is if you accompany me to ringside, Michelle.
Well, she does that. Oh no, I really couldn't. But if you think it'll help against that animal,
I think so. I think beauty will calm that savage beast.
oh, okay. Then I'll go with you.
And I'll offer my arm to her and goat skip off with her down to the ring.
So do you think you're kind of cutting? Are you aiming more to cut on Sub Pig, or are you kind of working the audience because you've got a local celebrity?
Yeah, I feel it's more working the audience.
Okay, then go ahead and roll with your audience.
Okay, so I have an audience of 2. So that gives me an 8.
Awesome. So you can gain a momentum, or you can start out in control of the match.
I'll go ahead and get that momentum.
That's a good call. All right. Rich, do you mind doing commentating on this match?
I do not mind doing commentary on this match.
Okay. And Andre, you should feel free to. Essentially, when you're not wrestling, we assign 1 or 2 commentators. They can comment on the match, and if they want, they can push up a person's role once during the episode, during the show.
Oh, could I not be a commentator because I don't think I can do a good job like
sure.
like Matt did or something?
No, you are absolutely welcome to not do that too.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And feel free when we're going on. You can always, if you want to describe your character, kind of watching the match or doing things backstage. You can always if you want to get a bit to do that.
But can I help them somehow doing that?
Well, later on, if you want, you can run in to make a run-in move. So take a look at that. But we're going to get started.
Okay.
All right. So I think we have to start with Stick's entrance. Stick, what does your entrance look like? What's your music? What does it look like?
So initially we hear the sound of thunders, and we have some lightning animation too, and then so it's dirty guitar licks and some drumming bass on the background, and then Raining Blood by Slayer starts to sound like really loud.
A public domain version, because I can't actually get it, so it sort of sounds like it, but
close enough.
Yes.
And I enter into the ring riding my motorcycle, my Harley motorcycle, with my sunglasses on, and I get into there with my motorcycle, and I get out and I raise my stick to the audience. I look at everyone.
They're excited. A few people by you are probably coughing from the motorcycle fumes, but it's not too bad. And get up there, and then
I take out my sunglasses and I throw them to the audience for someone to catch them.
They're nice and cheap. Someone catches them. You get a whole stack of these backstage. It's great. And what Randy Pan, when that cuts out, what is your entrance music like?
Great. Can I play a song?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
They'll put a mic on you to play.
Great. So just a quick clarifier on what Randy Pan looks like. He actually has like a wrestling mask on that exposes the lower part of his mouth. So he has these comical like anime eyes almost with one eyebrow kind of quirked. And otherwise, awesome. His gear looks like he has the goat legs as he comes out. So there's kind of like a pastoral lighting that starts off, and a couple of women that are actually classily dressed as nymphs, non-sexualized women and nymphs walk out, and they are arm in arm with Michelle Dawn Mooney, the newscaster, and they're walking out, and there's this kind of slow cello music at first. Is it coming across?
God.
And they lay like a rug out, like they're going to have a little picnic. And then I come out playing the flute.
Oh, God.
I skip down to the ring and just swoop the women up with me as we skip around the ring. I'm pretending I'm playing that pan flute the whole time and high-fiving the crowd as we work our way around to the ring. Clearly giving Stick like a "we got this, buddy" as we move around, and I give a hug to each of the nymphs, and then Michelle Donmini gives me a little hug, and they move off to the timekeeper's area as I take the ring and stand there next to Stick, waiting for the next time.
Perfect. So this is pastoral. This is kind of the rough and tumble Stick, and then we've got Randy Pan. What do we cut to then, Sub Pig?
All right, Sub Pig, in keeping with his usual entrances, there's no music. Out of nowhere, he just comes rampaging through the crowd, and
Dreamboat Alex is desperately trying to keep up with you.
Yeah, and he's not able to do what I'm doing. Like I'm trying to make kids cry as I'm coming through the crowd, and he's probably not feeling that.
You're scaring children. He's just kind of going "Rrr" at the kids.
And so we hit the ring. Again, as his want, Sub Pig starts kind of pulling the garbage out from under the ring as he sends Dreamboat Alex up to get in there.
All right, so Dreamboat Alex will get into the ring. You see Sub Pigs pulling out some garbage and things and weapons and stuff. Stick, Randy Pan, which of you wants to start in the ring as the legal wrestler? Now, let me talk a little bit about how tag team matches work. There's a tab called special matches, and essentially we do like a usual wrestling thing, but you can tag in, and the person who's in the ring can tag in with their partner, and we make a roll for that. You can also decide when somebody tags you in to not accept it. So Stick, Randy, who wants to start in the ring?
I think I got quite a bit of momentum built up.
Yeah, I think I prefer just stay outside for now with you.
Okay. So Dreamboat Alex is there. He's kind of trying to do this grim and gritty thing, and he looks over and he sees you, and he kind of looks around like, "Oh, are you serious?" And he kind of starts walking towards you like, "This is nothing," and you have control of the match. So what happens?
Okay, so Randy does the thing where he puts his hand out to offer to slowly get into a test of strength with him. And then as Dreamboat gets his hand close to mine, I switch hands. I make him switch it up again.
Okay.
And I'm just doing that until he gets pissed off at me and charges me with a hit. And then I move out of the way and do like a drop toe hold and knock him down. And so he falls down on the ground right next to the ropes. And then I jump on his back with my goat hooves and I yell to the crowd. I'd start stomping on his back and go, "Let me hear you, New Jersey."
So do you think that's getting the cheap heat, or you're actually doing the wrestling move there?
Let's see. Well, I did grab cheap heat earlier, so maybe it's more of a work the audience type thing.
Okay, go ahead and roll with your audience.
Okay. That brings me to an 8.
Okay. So you can get a momentum, or you can keep control.
I'll just take another momentum.
Okay.
See what he does with it.
So that's the point at which Dreamboat Alice kind of rolls over, gets you off his back, and he will go to pick you up. And you see he's trying to figure out. He's usually a face, so he kind of knows the face style. So he's trying to figure out how to be more vicious. So he is going to try to pick you up, get you over his shoulder, and kind of do that drop back, do that bomb to drop you on the ground. Kind of does that, doesn't land it particularly well. Kind of rolls you off. He's getting back up. His mullet's all mussed, and because he's an MPW, I hand control back to you.
Great. So as he was bringing me back, my legs are kicking a little bit. So I make that extra flip to carry myself over. So I land on my feet, and then I just jump up and drop kick him as he's trying to stand back up.
That sounds like your. Do you think that's work, more technical thing, or is that look kind of showing off your clown skills?
I think any kicking is part of my guy's look.
Okay. Then roll look.
Okay. And that's an 8.
Okay. So you have a choice. You can keep control, or you can take a momentum.
I think I'm going to keep control.
Okay.
I have enough momentum here.
Yeah. Because it does look like Dreamboat's trying to get over, maybe to tag in Sub Pig.
Yeah, cool. So instead of him making the way to his corner, I grab him by the hand and Irish whip him into my corner, and I run. Yeah, and then I run over and jump on Dreamboat's back and offer my hand for the tag.
And I get in immediately. And I was just waiting there, like extending my hand, just waiting for the moment. And and I get in.
Okay, so what's going to happen now is Pan is going to roll with his heat with stick, and we look at the hot tag roll.
Okay, and I think I'm at a 1 with him. Okay. Okay, so that is a failed roll on that.
Okay, now do you want to spend momentum to push it up?
Let's see. Yeah, actually, let's just let that one botch.
Okay. So Dreamboat, as you go to do that stick and do that, he gets there and he kind of tosses Pan back across the ring, rolls him across the ring. And you're going to lose 1 momentum, Pan. And he's going to tag in Sub Pig. Sub Pig, he's thrown Pan over by your ring, and he runs over, tags you in. You have control of the match now.
All right, so immediately, it's just right in the corner anyway. Pan gets turned and tossed in the corner, and I'm hoping there's a camera right there as I'm going for the bite move again. When I'm getting real close, and I'm kind of gnawing on his face. And as I'm doing that, I kind of say to him, making sure that my hair is covering my face from the angle, look, they beat the shit out of me last week. I'm all fucked up. I want a nice, easy one today. You have an opportunity to have this be soft. Let's do this that way.
And Pan whispers back, "You're speaking my language, nice and easy."
And so he's just doing the bite, but it's all, he's not really digging in this time. Yeah. It's more theatrical.
Okay.
And yeah,
so once
selling it.
Oh yeah, why don't you roll with look then, Sub Pig?
All right, there you are. Actually, we'll do this. All right, so that is a 7 minus 1, I think. Let me check that. My stats are so bad. Actually, look is just a 0. All right, so it's a 7.
Okay. Do you want to keep control, or do you want to give your opponent control and gain momentum?
I will give my opponent control and get a momentum.
Okay. Sub Pig does that bite. How do you break out of that, Pan?
So Pan will reach to Sub Pig's sides and give him a tickle. So he backs up, and he actually gets on autopilot because that's one of his things he does, a tickle followed by a goat headbutt. And so he goes to headbutt him right in his messed up mouth. And I think it's, we'll see what happens with that.
So roll look.
Yeah. That's a 7.
Okay. keep control or give control to your opponent?
I'll keep control.
Okay.
And so then what I'll do at that is I realize that I hit him maybe, I'm not sure if I hit him harder than I intended or if it's was a nice easy move. So I'm like, time for me to get out of here. And I duck down between his legs and run over to my corner and go to make the jump to tag in.
Okay. Roll your hot tag.
So that's a 5, and I want to get him in there, so I'll spend 2 momentum to bring that up to 7.
You spend 2 momentum, and you give an additional 1 to Stick.
Okay.
So Stick, you gain a new momentum, and Stick, what does it look like when you come in?
So basically, I jump over the ropes, and I land like with my with my boots looking on the floor, and I just immediately run into the fight and hit the Sub Pig with my arm as I run, just laying it down.
Awesome. Do that clothesline, bring it across him as he's getting up, and then what?
As I continue running, I push against the rope to get momentum, and I run to him again, and I grab him, and I jump and grab him by the head, and with my whole body weight, I use it to drop him to the ground.
Okay.
I'm making him the ground.
Awesome. So it sounds to me like you're actually kind of working it here. So why don't you roll 2d6 plus your work?
Sure, my work. Okay, that's not great. Just do this. Okay. Ooh, this is. Oh shit. This is 6 in total.
Now you could spend momentum to bump that up to a 7.
I think I am going to do that.
Okay. Now you have 2 choices then. You can get that momentum back, but give Sub Pig control of the match, or you can decide to keep control of it.
I think I'm going to keep control of the match for now.
Okay. Sub Pig kind of hits you, knocks you, not a great hit, comes back. He's a relative newcomer. He's trying to get his footing under him. Sub Pig, how are you responding to this?
I mean, like I said to them, and I'd relay the same message to him kind of as we're working too. I want it nice and easy, but not silly. The other guy almost got clobbered for the tickling. Like, I got an image to maintain. So I'm not really selling a whole lot. Like,
okay.
They're keeping control, but there's not the flopping around and squealing and flailing.
All right. So, Stick, what's the next thing that happens here?
So as the Sub Pig is still laying in the ground, like still recovering from my move, I think I grab a mic from somewhere, from the referee or something like that. I start talking to the people, start saying, "Look at this thing. This is what the people who run this business have done. This is what the rich and the powerful have done to this. They have made him become this loosey, despicable thing. He's not guilty. He's just a one more victim of the man." I think I'm speaking truth to power.
Ooh, okay. Let's look at that move. So when you speak truth to power, all right, go ahead and roll audience.
Which I have 0, so we'll see. I think I'm not sure. Yeah, so there's too many dice. I have no idea which one was mine. Is it okay if I just clear the board?
Well, no, don't hit clear. Just you can click on the dice and then hit delete selected if you want to remove dice. Yeah.
I deleted all the clear dice for you.
If you have like private browsing on, you might not be able to manipulate the dice, like an ad blocker or something like that.
I've already cleared them. You can just refresh, and I try to make a space for where you roll.
Okay. 2 dices. Okay, so that's a 5 and a 5, a 10.
Okay.
And I have I was rolling with audience, so 0, so it's still a 10.
Okay, you gain a momentum, and you get to essentially pick 2 off that list. Probably the best thing is to get a heat with Sub Pig for one of those.
Let me see. 2. Okay, one momentum and pick 2. Okay. Yeah, I gain 1+1 hit with Sub Pig, and yeah, I think and they are shut down. They are
okay. So there's that thing as you see as you're shouting that out, the GM Wolf Backhouse, it kind of cuts to him and he's coming out to start to talk against that, but the crowd is on your side, and so he kind of backs up like, oh, nope. Okay. Sub Pig now, he stopped off to go and talk to the audience, so that control passes to you, Sub Pig.
Yeah, and that's something we can't countenance this. So, as he's kind of where are you positioned when you're cutting this promo on the mic? Are you in?
Yeah,
in the ring?
I have my back to you and looking at the audience with the mic. I'm probably like kind of in the middle, close to ropes.
All right. So then, what he would do with do that. No, I don't. It's not going to be with reckless disregard for my own safety and well-being, but we are going to do hardcore violence as he's talking. I kind of springboard off one of the ropes and grab his head for like a cutter type move, like onto the rope to the outside. So I'm holding on, coming down really hard on the rope.
Awesome. So you are doing hardcore?
Yeah, I'm doing hardcore violence. Yeah.
Okay.
So my dice are cleared now. All right, that is a 10. Awesome. So that move then allows me to I gain +1 audience, which is great. Retain control of the match and pick one from the 7 to 9 list. I gain +2 momentum.
Okay. So kind of smashes him down, get that hit in. It hits hard. You look good. You still have control, Sub Pig.
He looks like a cool guy, and this is what happens to cool guys when they get in here with guys like me who are never cool. And I lean in. I hope that didn't hurt too much. And he's not being sarcastic. He means that sincerely. And we'll roll him back into the ring. And I will roll in, tag the dreamboat, roll out, and start sliding some chairs in.
Okay. So Dreamboat Alex comes over. He stands over you, Stick, while you're laying there, and he lazily goes to put you out, but he's a little slow. So you get control of the match. What happens?
I think I'm going to do. I think he's going to go grab me, and I took him over, and I basically throw him to the ropes, and then when he's going back, I hit him in the face, boom, and I lay him over, and then I quickly go. I go to one of the corners, and I start climbing up, and from somewhere, oh Jesus, this is going to be dangerous. And from somewhere, I take out my stick, and as I climb over, and I'm on the top of the ropes, at the top of the corner, and I take my stick, I put it above my head, and then I just jump, a big jump to hit him with the stick as I fall.
Oof. Roll with real.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm good with that. Oh, I'm decent with that. Nice.
I'm going to clear those dice there.
Sure.
There you go.
Perfect. Okay, let's hope this goes good. Okay, that's a 9 plus 1 for my real. That's a 10.
10. So you get an audience, and you get to pick one from that 7 to 9 list.
Okay, just a second. This is match move. Is this the wrestling move?
It's actually the hardcore violence move because you're using a weapon.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I gain 2 plus 2 momentum, and I gain plus 1 hit with your opponent. Yeah.
Well, you can pick one of those.
Oh yeah, just one. I think probably plus 1 hit, because that way I have. No, I already have 4 with Dreamboat Alex.
Oh, okay.
So do I? I don't know how that happened, but I think that may be a mistake. Maybe a mistake. I don't remember how did it get there.
You should be at 3, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. So yeah, now okay. I take the extra hit.
Excellent. So you go to a 4. You kind of laid out Dreamboat. He's on there. What happens next?
And then I'm done with this guy, and I just go to tag out to run the pan.
Randy, here's the thing. You are booked to win. Not against Sub Pig, and this is your opportunity, because you don't want Sub Pig to get back in there. They don't want you to pin Sub Pig, because that's not going to work for them. But they need you to pin Dreamboat Alex, because they want him to be shown up really hard.
Okay, so he's just laying on the mat, having been smashed.
Yeah, he got hit in the face by the stick. He's laid out. The ref's looking somewhere else, but now turned back around.
And Sub Pig isn't even standing on the apron anymore. He's not holding the tag rope. He's actually off the apron, so he's not eligible for a legal tag, and he's throwing more plunder into the ring for you.
Maybe Dreamboat is kind of starting to crawl to maybe go get Sub Pig's attention.
Yeah, it's great. I see these chairs coming in, and you can see Pan playing this is not the type of match I thought it was going to be. And he picks up Steamboat, and he throws him in between the second and third turnbuckles, so his shoulder is against the post, and he's standing there kind of with his pelvis against his backside, and he looks to the audience like, here's my move. And so he does the thing where he runs back to the opposite corner and runs back and does like a diving headbutt right at Dreamboat's butt and just smashes it.
Okay. All right. So you're going for your finisher.
Yes.
Let us have you roll. Now, I believe the finisher is a straight 2d6.
Yes.
Some people have a better one. Some people don't.
Yeah, they do. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
That's a 9, so I have one last momentum. Let's kick that up to a 10.
So perfect. It's timed perfectly. So you get to pick 2 from that list.
Okay. So I on mine, if my finisher, it says I choose whether I get an audience. I'll take that audience for sure.
Okay.
And then
I think that's it.
I think that's it. I get that. I get my audience, and I flip them back over my head and go for the pin.
And it's the thing is you and Stick have been talking about this corporate trash there, and get him and put him out, lay him out. The audience loves that they're out. They love that he's finally finished and done, and he is laid out on the corner, and people are loving it.
Cool. And so then he's laid out. He's actually on top of me, and I just do like a little backflip. And so I pin him with both hands in the air, counting along with the ref.
Okay.
Counts it in. And I guess that flute music hits again. We'll get the win.
Perfect. And Stick, what's your reaction to this?
I think I just jump into the ring and I take Randy Palm over my shoulders, and I just carry him around. Yes.
Triumphant cheer there.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. He got so excited that he picked me up, and when actually it was booked to happen was Michelle and the Nymphs were supposed to come back into the ring and powder me, but they're kind of standing there like, what do we do? As he's carrying me around the ring, and I'm just like, I don't know.
As they're doing that, Sub Pig can't let them get their heat on him right now. So while these guys are doing it, they just big clothesline from behind in their moment of celebration.
To kind of knock him down. Analyst. Backhouse goes, go. Finish it.
Nice.
I need you to finish Sub Pig today.
Okay, cool. Finish, or just okay. Yeah, I we'll figure it out. I'm running in.
Okay, so you guys get kind of knocked down by Sub Pig in the ring. It's kind of a scrum. Let's have you roll your run in, Analyst.
Yeah, the run in, and I roll heat with the character I'm coming after, which would be Sub Pig, and my heat with him is a whopping 4. I have confirmed that I can roll 6s on Pip, so let's see if that happens as I re-roll my selected dice.
You live dangerously.
Yes.
I rolled an 11, sir. That is hot. On a 10 plus, it's a hot angle. And gain +1 heat with each other. So what happens? The analyst who was supposed to be the announcer during this entire match has been viewing his iPad and on a conference call on his phone, pretty much ignoring Mean Boat and his former partner there. And he throws down his stuff on Backhouse. He jumps up onto and hits Sub Pig right from behind, right? Because he's corporate, so he's going to do a hostile takeover, as it were. And yeah, he bashes him from behind, and with the run-in, we both gain +1 heat. I'm already at 4. You're already at 4. And then I get to pick one from the 7 to 9 list. Yes, well, the match is over, so some of these results seem weird.
Here's the choice. You have a choice. You can leave Sub Pig on the floor right now, or you can go into the final match for the show.
Going to the final match for the show.
Okay,
Let's do it.
so Pan, the referee, they're getting a stick. They're getting you cleared from the stage. It looks like they're doing a quick setup for something, and they kind of move you guys off. Jeremy, do you mind doing commentary for this one?
Oh, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. I was going to add that like Pan scoops up Michelle Don Mooney into his arms and they run back up the ramp and he's like gesturing to the stick like something's happening. We gotta go. and it's kind of chaos, but there's chairs in the ring. Sub Pig, you kind of pull back away. You two are kind of squared off against each other. This is a feud that has been going on for weeks. And bloodied but not bowed, both of you. There's weapons in the ring. Matt, how much momentum do you have?
I have 6 momentum right now.
Yes, you do.
I used none in that last match.
Then you have control.
So much mo.
Cool. I think the announcer starts off as like, here we go. We're finally gonna see it. This has been building up all this time. You can feel the tension in the room. The crowd is evenly split. Who's gonna get the W today? Let's see it.
Yeah, crowd goes hushed here. This is what they really wanted.
So, we're gonna start off with this is not about even just wrestling anymore. This is about real heat between the two characters. So there is no pretense of form or no pretense of trying to engage the analyst on his terms at all. This is just wild overhand clubbing blows and backhands and just unleashing himself bestially upon him.
So are we doing power, or are you actually gonna be playing it hard?
I actually think this is look.
Okay.
Because this is to kind of sell the drama, this kind of flurry.
Roll with look.
All right. As a 6, and I will spend 1 momentum to bring it to a 7.
Okay. Do you want to keep control or get momentum back?
I'm gonna keep control.
We'll probably do a camera shot. What's the reaction on Stick's face when he sees this brutal match about has started there, and that resounding blows? If the camera comes in on Stick, what do we see? You're not going to answer me, Stick, are you? Okay. So muted. Yeah, he's muted. That's okay.
I think he realizes we're talking to his character.
Yes. Beast, you've been kind of in the wings. What's your reaction when you see this fight start? What do we see you on camera? Are you excited? Are you worried? What's the look?
I think up to now I was not caring very much. I was eating popcorn or something, hot dogs. I don't know what they eat in those things. Mm-hmm. And but now I'm a little worried. And you see, he goes closer to the ring. He's looking very closely to what's happening, and he's kind of nervous for some reason.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it. Sub Pig, you still have control.
I do. And so, I hate these bookers because I'm beat to shit right now. I want to go easy. So I'm going to bring him down to the ground like in a front face lock and get a folding chair and kind of unhinge it and get his head in the middle and start closing it, which is, a relatively safe spot, but one that, looks pretty good.
Definitely a look spot.
Daniel's is slapping the mat in time with it to add more sound, selling it, wiggling his legs, trying to fight his way out, but it just can't move his way off from underneath the chair.
We hit the clang of it.
Oh. That's not good.
So what did you get there, Sub Pig?
Snake eyes.
Yes, indeed.
And what's your look?
My look is 0.
Hey, so you've got a 2. Now, you can spend momentum, or the commentator can let you have the botch, or the commentator can put you over.
You only get to put one over one match, right? It's just one.
Yeah. There's only one. I think that the commentator wants to see the. I want to see this botch.
Absolutely. All right. So tell me, Analyst, how do you counter this chair crush he's doing?
He comes up one time. It takes a little too long, and the Analyst rolls out of the way and is able to wriggle himself free. He starts kicking some of the gadgets off of, or like the gewgaws and crap that Sub Pig always drags. He starts kicking it off of the mat and trying to kick it out of the ring. He's like, come on, why don't you wrestle me? Don't you guys want to see a wrestling match? He starts trying to work the audience.
Okay. Now you get Sub Pig loses a momentum and you gain that momentum.
Oh, I will take it. Thank you very much, Sub Pig.
Let's have you roll for work the audience.
I have rolled a 7, and my audience is sitting at a nice ripe 4, so that's an 11. Cool. So I gained 2 momentum.
2 momentum, but in taking the time to work the audience, Sub Pig gets control back.
That's fine.
The Analyst has done his homework. He knew that Sub Pig was going to go straight for violence, and he was ready for it. He called him out that Sub Pig can't wrestle. What's going to happen?
Sub Pig was looking to do something different with this match, especially trying to work with his present limitations. Is going to take that to heart, and against any type of good judgment, he's going to go for like an amateur wrestling style, like back waist lock kind of thing, and try to like just like real wrestling, take him to the ground.
Roll work.
But to make it horrifying, he's doing that like squealing like a pig thing as he's kind of getting around him from behind.
Nice.
Creepers.
Wow.
That's a 4.
And my work is -1. So that's a 3.
3.
Damn it. Yeah, this is.
I'll put him over. Let's put him over on the mic for that move.
Okay, what? Give me that.
So we see like, oh, Sub Pig is going for a traditional takedown, completely against character. It's been a while since he's kicked the rust off of those moves. It's sloppy, but he does it.
Sub Pig, do you want to give momentum? Do you want to take momentum and give control to the Analyst, or do you want to keep control now that you've managed to barely pull that out?
I am gonna give it back to him because he's gonna win this contest of back and forth of real wrestling moves anyway. I just had a point to prove, so I'll take the momentum and give him control.
Okay, Analyst, this is brutal.
Yeah. Okay. What? Cue me up again. I'm sorry.
Okay. So he's tried to do that the amateur wrestling move. He's kind of done that, pinned you, and you've kind of broken free from that. He's still squealing like a pig.
What? I'm surprised. Sweet. So I've taken control. I bust out of his move there and grab him. I'm going to start moving into some wrestling. So it's pull Sub Pig up, and then throw him against the ropes. We'll do a little bit of high flying action. Maybe do the kind of the flying tackle there to take Sub Pig down. And then he's going to drag him over towards the middle of the mat and do an arm bar and try to get him to submit. He's going for that same weakness that he had tried to exploit before on Sub Pig. And so he's going to try for the arm bar.
Let's have you roll work.
All right, here we go. I rolled a 6, but my work is a 2.
That's an
Take a
8.
look. Yeah, it's an 8. And on wrestling, I am going to go ahead and spend 2 momentum. So losing equation, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend 2 momentum to push it up to a 10. I'll retain control and then just get that momentum back.
So you just look awesome doing it.
I do. I'm pulling off really good wrestling. I'm yelling out, "This is how you wrestle!" And then he breaks out of the armbar. He makes it look like Sub Pig's broken out of the armbar. He rolls over and then picks Sub Pig up. And yeah, I think he's going to take him over to the turnbuckle and start just pretending to hammer blows on Sub Pig to see if he'll sell it. He steps up onto the first row of the ropes there, so he's a little bit high, and he does the hammer blows. He's mostly hitting on chest and sides of the head and seeing how Sub Pig is selling it or what he's feeling like. He's kind of checking in with Sub Pig on this.
And this isn't like the last match. Like, Sub Pig is selling like a maniac for the analyst. They're like, ah! The arms are flailing as he's taking the blows, and he's snorting and hollering and spitting.
Cool. Then analyst for a moment looks like he's a little tired, and he leans in and he says, "Backhouse wants me to take you out." And then he would grab, I can't remember what you call it, like a donkey kick or a mule kick, the thing where he grabs him by the shoulders and then rolls back onto his back, plants his feet into Sub Pig's side and flips him over like a somersault over kick with him. Okay. Yeah, he's going to pull that move to basically position Sub Pig into the middle of the ring, and then he's going to go for a high-flying maneuver again. He got pretty excited when he pulled that one off pretty well, so he's going to do an elbow drop on him, and so I'm going to try to pull off another move.
Okay.
Awesome. Here we go. I've gotten a 10 on that. Ooh. Yeah, so sweet. I pull off a 10, which on a wrestling move. I love that the wrestling move is on the second page of Play 8. That just always cracks me up, that the actual wrestling move isn't on the first page that you see. Sorry. That always makes me laugh. I can't gain any more heat, so I'll just gain 2 more momentum.
Here's the thing, analyst. Wolf Backhouse, he's on the road. He doesn't have to listen to Bleakwood. You're booked to win and finish this feud and defeat Sub Pig.
Nice.
So that is the situation, Sub Pig analyst. What happens?
I'm going to roll into the finishing move here. Sub Pig just did a match. He's tired. He wants to go home. So I'm just going to go ahead and go straight for the finishing move. I'm going to go for a submission because I want to rub the salt into his wound, see if he'll do it because I know he hates. And I'll go into the armbar again and see if he's going to give in.
And as he's getting ready to do the finish move, I'm going to run in.
All right. So you kind of go to do that. So you spend a momentum to interrupt, and you get to roll the run-in move.
Yep. And I don't have any hit with the technician, but I get 1 just for this, which is reasonable. Yeah. Let me clear this. And then I roll 7, 8.
Okay. So you get a momentum, but the analyst gets to pick from the list.
Sure.
We're really late on time for that second option to book a new match.
Yeah.
It's tempting.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm going to pick the third one. Your interference doesn't change the result of the match, but their opponent comes after you for interfering in their business.
So that's happening. He's going for the finisher unless you interrupt, Sub Pig. Do you let him land the finisher? got Stick up in the ring. Things have gone a little crazy.
Wait, can I run in as well?
Spend a momentum.
Okay. So
No one wants the analyst to pin Sub Pig. Like they like you or something.
So the beast runs to the ring, and he shouts at Sub Pig and the Stick, and he tells them, "I know you both think that I'm the management's dog, but I'm going to prove you that I have my own willpower and that I do whatever I want. So I'm going after."
Okay, roll your heat with the analyst.
4. So I got 9. I got a 13.
Okay, so you would get a heat with each other, and you get to pick one from the list. Probably 1 or 3.
What is to get DQ'd?
Disqualified. Essentially, it DQs, knocks the analyst out so that Sub Pig wins.
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Yep. Analyst, you're going for it. This is going to be the end of that feud. You're going to finish Sub Pig. Then Stick comes in, and you're like, okay, you get him pushed off, and then suddenly the beast who stole that from you before, pushes and DQs you, Sub Pig. What's your reaction to all this, Sub Pig?
Sub Pig is looking around, and the interference is not appreciated, so he starts just clearing the ring,
Blows are flying. What's the last thing we see in this episode from Stick as the Sub Pig begins to start throwing blows? The referees are in there, all these wrestlers around. What do we see from Stick as the last shot of you in this episode?
I think I look at the animal. I tell him, I realize now we are on the same side. From now on, we fight together against the man. And I point at the technician.
Awesome.
Great.
And Beast, what do we see from you in the last shot of you in this episode?
I think I'm the analyst is on the ground, right?
Yeah, kind of knocked him out of the ring, got him DQ'd.
Okay. So I don't know. I go to the Stick maybe, and I'll tell him, you bet we are.
Yeah, so you guys go to shake hands, even as Sub Pig comes smashing into the two of you, squealing, knocking you guys around. He's clearing the ring. Pan, what's the last thing we see from you in this episode?
So these guys had this cool dude bonding moment, and then got separated by Sub Pig, and there's like a slow pan of the camera to Randy kind of laying on his side, ringside, with his head on his arm, and he just says, "Huh. Well, I guess anything can happen here at these Gauntlet League Roadshows." And then he goes, "Oh, I got a date," and he jumps up and runs after Michelle.
And analyst, with all this craziness going on in the background, all this noise, this chaos, camera comes to you. You get the last word in this episode. What's the last we see of the analyst?
We have the analyst. He's gotten his iPad. He's slipping his tie back on. He's watching the chaos in the ring. And he says, everything happened as I have planned it.
And it fades to black on you as you walk out of the arena, and credits pop up, and that is the end of our episode. So thank you, everybody. a little bit chaotic there. So I hope you had an okay time with this. A chance
Definitely.
to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this game. It does blossom over multiple sessions. So, thank you guys very much. Andre, I hope that was okay.
That was
you?
great. Yeah.
Good.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
I loved your characters, people, and I loved your MCing. I don't know.
Yeah,
Great job.
Do we call it an MC in the
Yes,
game?
Called a creative is the MC
Creative.
in this one.
Okay.
Oh, creative.
yeah. We had a great bonding, dude bonding moment there.
I like that.
Yeah.
There got that stuff. And Jeremy, you clearly know wrestling. I appreciate that. And you had some good Jersey references there, so that is much appreciated.
Yep. Thanks, Google.
Love it.
We had a first for me, at least in this session. Sub Pig has gotten to the point where I get to level up to one of the advanced roles.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
Gonna have to choose those. That's gonna be interesting because we have the last session after that. So awesome. Rich,
I think I get an advance, right? Because okay, awesome. So yeah, I get another, and I think that's my third advance. So yeah.
Rich, thank you for coming and playing again. And the last, does this get you to Worldwide Wrestling, to the 10th game of it?
It does indeed, sir.
Okay.
It gets me to my 10th play of Worldwide Wrestling, which helps me to get closer to finishing that rung on the ladder of insanity.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to stop the broadcast and do that right now.